Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Good morning, everybody. August 1st, 2019 here on the Rancho, and welcome to all of you. Make sure I'm getting that on the other side here. Yeah. Let's see if this is going to work or not. I don't know. Yes, and we are. Guess what? YouTube must love us. They still have the live streaming. I guess it could go at any time today. I have no idea. Or else the roar of the crowd. Vicky, how you doing, my sweetheart? Or else the roar of the crowd came in, and I don't know. Who knows? Always make sure you have. Always make sure that you have a backup plan. I finally was able to get the oil changed on the car today. Hey, Karina. Shamaj, how are you? Nice to see you. You know, I rolled in Monday. You know, I put some high miles on the vehicle, 10,000 miles. I did get the oil changed in Cicero, New York. I did stop and get some new front steer tires for the van, and did get the oil changed. Then it uses that expensive 0.20 weight synthetic oil. You know, it's like it's a Fiat engine, right? So when I rolled in Monday, they're like, oh, we don't have, we're out of stock on that oil, and we'll have it Wednesday. I rolled over there today, and they're like, oh, it's going to be about 2 hours till we get you quick change oil. They use this team approach. They have like 5 guys working on one car at a time, you know. So I went up the street to the Valvoline one. It's all girls running it, efficient as hell. Servicing 3 vehicles in 3 bays, like a well-oiled machine up there, and they got it done in like 10 minutes. And I was on my way. How you doing, DF? Jock Blue, how you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you. Probably going to be a little quiet. I think we are right in peak vacation time for the year. J Money, you may need some new shorts. They just kind of as my ass got bigger, they kind of split up the side there. Hey, Angel, how are you? Nice to see you, honey. They're good for Vegas, right? They're good for Vegas, Vegas chooching. Anyway, happy to see you guys this morning. A few things to talk about today on the channel. Jen, how you doing, sweetheart? Some people asked if I'm going to Florida to be, to do a meetup down there with the streaming house. The answer is no. You know, having returned from that journey, hey Daisy Dukes, having returned from that journey of 10,433 miles, I've got some things to do around here in the next 10 days. Yeah, girl power at the these chicks were like a well-oiled machine, man. Looking good while they're changing oil, doing a great job. Thank you, Jock Blue. Said you look exceptionally pretty today. How sweet of you. Makeup is amazing, isn't it? Take the old war horse and, fix her up a little bit. So I was very happy to get that done. There's a lot of things to be done here on the Rancho, particularly on the weekend. I need to. I told you guys yesterday I ordered the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which is the big boy. I did not go to the 5G. The Samsung 5G they're rolling out. I need more time to get that 5G battle proven. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't often wear pink is Missy Jenn's color. Thank you, Vicky. Says she's always pretty well. I have my moments. Catch me on some of my construction work with my Hawaiian shirt on. So I got the oil change, but this weekend there's work to be done. I need to do some touch-up painting around here. I have the watering. I went out and checked a leak on the head end of the water distribution, the irrigation distribution system. It's all pretty good. I need to. The worst part is reprogramming those damn timers, multi-station timers, and all that is such a pain in the butt to do that. And of course, the operator's manual is long gone on that. So luckily you can find anything on the internet. Channel layout changes. Hey, Rock and Raleigh, channel changes. If you notice by the by the thumbnail, waiting for Hangouts. If you look at the front page of the channel, if you look at it on a TV in particular, you'll see that the front page has changed now. It's Rosie O'Kelly Travels and Adventures. And also the thumbnail. It's with some degree of regret that I had to do that, but sometimes change is good. And to be more compliant with YouTube, and also to be more compliant with my direction on YouTube, which is travels and adventures, to which the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus should be great. That thing is waterproof it's waterproof to like 25 feet for a half hour if it accidentally goes into the pool or something like that, which is great. I need something like that because can be a little ham-fisted sometimes, and I need to get a good case. The big issue I had, and you can see the smashes on this. The smashes here, where this the whole screen is just smashed up here. I had to. I was monetized for 6 years, so you know, in their latest sweep and review, it was demonetized, but things are in good shape now and getting better. Playlists have been put up. The whole front page looks the whole front page looks good. Yeah, I need to get. It's not just the screen protector, but look at how the screen rises above. You know, on this end and this end, the case is a little higher. And this was a decent case. This was sold to me at the time. It did well for 14 months. This is an Incipio case, but I need one with a higher to really protect the screen. Lame. YouTube is being so lame. You know, you got to remember at the end of the day that YouTube is a publicly held corporation, and all of their activities are going to be driven towards increasing profits. And they went through that long spell in 2017 through early 2019 when, you know, there was all kinds of, you know, terrorists could put things up on YouTube, and there was all kinds of hate channels and just bullshit channels came on, fake news channels. And the advertisers rebelled against that. And some of the big ones started to pull away, and there was a real distinct drop in revenue that occurred across a lot of channels. So because it's advertising driven first and foremost, they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that everybody's channels sort of get re-inspected and like that. Yeah, free speech champion. But a lot of times, Rock and Raleigh, free speech turned into fake speech here. You know, they pulled off Alex Jones and some other channels that are just stirring the pot and disseminating sometimes information that's not true, or it's just fabricated. Like I said, I'm astounded. Dancing Dawn, I need a shock proof. I know, honey. Thank you, babe. Good to see you. I hope your recovery continues to go well. You know, it's inconceivable. I remember when the astronauts landed on the moon, I was 11 years old. Shows you how old I was in 1969. And it was inconceivable at that time that there could be such things as conspiracy theories. And even the worst thing of all is people coming out and with the theory that the world is flat. I never in my lifetime, if you would ask me, even when I was 11 years old, would such thoughts even be possible in 2019? I would have said no. It would be kooky to have that. But we can see fake theories, fake news, and how it drives wedges between people in communities. Side screen like that, you know, caseology fits perfect. Thank you. Nice to see you, Carol. Hello, Joe Smith. Nice to see you, sweetie. And was watching a hangout yesterday, and thank you, Joe Smith, for the kind words that you said about me. Hey, Cornholio, how are you doing, my friend? Cornholio in the chat, and Harry Bullbag, nice to see you. Yeah, Yeah, take a second to hit the like button. So the channel layout is going to be different. The playlists are different. A lot of stuff I've removed, over 4,000 videos in the course of the last year. That's a lot. Effectively removing about 2.8 million views from the channel. So although you see 13 million today, the realistic figure is more like 16 million views on the channel. It's not something I talk about too often, but it does show that people are in there. They're looking at things on the daily, but you have to redefine who you are as you go forward. So this was a nice, it was a good opportunity to realign things with YouTube, and also to realign things with my my travels, to be out there traveling. Kenko, oh man, Kenko's like, you're telling me it's not flat? Oh dear, back to the drawing, back to the drawing board. Yeah, the otter boxes are great. Oh yeah, you know, yeah, the cadaver bones, kit and cat. I don't really know how that's going to play out down there in Mexico. I don't know. Like I said, I got my own fish to fry here on YouTube. So when we meet up again, I cannot tell you. With Elvis, he has his agenda, and I've got my my agenda here. So I had a long conversation, not long, but a decent conversation. I finally sat down long enough to call DeeDubs today and had a really nice conversation with him. And the good news, we are on for Las Vegas. Going to be there from the 18th and leaving on the 25th. So it's going to be a good 6 days. 5 or 6 days in Las Vegas, chooching fun, try to work some different things into the agenda, more time down on the strip. One of the things that people were saying is we love the downtown. Get out there on the strip, get down there by Planet Hollywood, or get down on some of the side streets to some of the other casinos and places, and get down there, you know, near the Bellagio and Flamingo, and we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be doing that. Hey, Julie, Army Mommy, how are you, beautiful? Nice to see you. I don't know what king you're talking about, Harry. I live in the U.S. We don't have kings here. You know, I don't mind working on a rig, but I'm not going to be putting money into it. So we did one thing we were deficient in. Was the strip. So how you doing, Brown Bear Jamboree? Nice to see you. We will start with the downtowns, of course. Heat will be a factor down there and being hydrated, but I will be fully prepared for that going down. And we don't usually do our chooching to nighttime anyway, so we can always take the Deuce, which is the Las Vegas bus. We go down from downtown. The Deuce will drop you off anywhere all the way down to the lower strip there, and we can walk up for hours, and then when we get tired, just hop on the Deuce and go right downtown. Hey Andrea, how you doing, beautiful? Oh, the Heart Attack Grill, Jordan Blue, how you doing, honey? Nice to see you. I don't really get a lot out of the Heart Attack Grill. You know, I know. Every time I look, and I get more out of the sexy artwork on the nurses' uniforms and all that on the side of the restaurant. Every time I look inside, there's people dressed in hospital gowns, chowing down, and I don't get the concept of that. I don't do buffets. You know, I look in the window and I feel greasy. I don't know how to explain it. You know, the concept is weird. Brown Bear says Vegas is too hot for me. This time of year, well, you know, basically I'm going to be at poolside, probably D2 for the days. We'll be around at the different pools. I'd like to kind of blow into a few of the other pools, go back and have some more fun at the you know, at the topless pools and all that. It's just a little good clean Americana fun. But I look in the windows at the Heart Attack Grill, and I don't know how to I don't know how it grabs me. You know, I don't know. I'm not a politically correct person, but I'm not going to sit there with a sign outside protesting that this sends a bad message to the American people. Hey, man, life sends a bad message to the American people right now. That's for damn sure. Four Scores, how you doing, buddy? Says I'm going in October. Will be nice. Yeah, it should be. Hey, Richard, how are you? Richard Otts in the chat. Nice to see you. Yeah, can you imagine, Kit and Kat? How you doing, Nicole? Nice to see you, sweetie. Can you imagine you go in there in the heat? And I'll tell you what, guys, we've been out on chooches in Las Vegas when we did our Black Widow Cemetery tour. And it was 106 degrees when we started at about 8 o'clock at night. And when we were on the way back, it had cooled down to about 96 degrees, but it felt like the air conditioning was on coming back. I can't imagine feeling bloated coming out of a place, a buffet, and just hitting that heat. And it just feels gross. To me, it just feels gross to be doing that. So I'm not into that. My buffet days are long gone. The last buffet I had was the Larsa buffet up in Sterling Heights, Michigan, outside of Detroit, which was a very good Middle Eastern buffet, but that was a very exceptional. It's not often you get all the Middle Eastern food spread out, 105 different items, all Middle Eastern specialties, and you can go around and try all that, and it was delicious. Just last week, 106 at midnight. I think as long as you stay hydrated, you're in good shape. Vicky says, I don't like buffets. Mouse Toes says, I don't trust food temps and buffets. And nice to see you, Mouse Toes. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday. And sub up Mouse Toes channel. She is a content provider too on there. So I did have the talk with D today, and I think he's a lot like me. He's decided to just stay clear of all the current stuff going on YouTube and just concentrate on prepping for future content. Hey, Winky, how are you? Heart Attack Grill is not a buffet. Yeah, it's just big burgers. I don't know. I don't. People had the nerve to say I gained. Kit and Kat thought I gained a few pounds. Well, I am on a. Just wanted to take this 2 weeks. I'm eating a lot of greens. When you're on the road, it's sometimes a stretch to try to get your vegetables and your fruit. So I'm concentrating on salads and fruits here over the next 18 or so days before I get ready to shove off for Las Vegas. Trying to get my exercise increased too, but I think my weight was very stable. How you doing, Awesome Hooker? I'm doing good. How you doing, sweetie? Nicole said YouTube is a shit show right now. No kidding. No kidding. I could only lay there in my bed listening to replays, just thinking to myself, oh, I'm so glad I'm just out doing my own thing. And I hope everybody gets everything resolved, because all the people are good people involved. It's just that summertime just seems to bring out the worst on Boyd. I don't know why. You know what I mean? So shit show is putting it lightly. Driving now. Yeah, nice to see you, Awesome Hooker. Don't worry, I'll be doing that soon. That's good. When you focus on content, it's a good thing. It's a lot of fun. You keep working on making it better. I still haven't, pulled the trigger on this bonded network, this live use solo, which takes 2 cell signals and combines it into one. It allows you to use an external camera for great stabilization and outstanding. You can broadcast in true 1080p ultra high definition with no buffering, with no pixelation. It's pretty amazing. Hey, there you go, McFly. What's going on? McFly says, relax, everybody. I'm here now. McFly has made the scene. Yeah, it's just I can't, when the remonetizations occur and all that after a couple months, then I'll revisit that, Nicole. But for right now, I'm doing good enough with the The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is supposed to be another step better in signal acquisition on that. I didn't go for the 5G. I need the technology to be a little more proven on that, on the 5G. It's monsoon madness. That's why everyone is cuckoo around Boyd at this time. Los Algodones may be off now that locked up in the psych ward. I don't know. I didn't follow the last 2 days. Like I said, I had a lot of stuff to do around here with Missy Jenn. When are you going to make a video with the new phone? I haven't, Andrea, I have it in the box. I charged it up and I said, I'm going to put it in the box because with my butterfingers, this son bitch is going to drop on the floor before I can get a protective case on it. So I'm going to keep it in there until probably I'm going to pick up a better case probably tomorrow or Saturday, and then I'll try. The thing I really like about that is when I do a close, like if I'm in the pool or something like that in Las Vegas, it's too tight of a frame. It's very hard to, excuse me. It's hard to incorporate like a 15 millimeter lens, which is a very wide angle lens, but somehow or another, this Galaxy now incorporates an ultra wide angle lens, which I really like. And it doesn't have a lot of fisheyeing. Sometimes if something's too ultra wide, the edges curve and it looks kind of weird. You get that fishbowl effect in there. So stuck in the mud and it's a mess. Yeah, they're slippery, and I mean, this did me great duty for about a year and 4 months. I made hundreds, thousands of videos with this thing. It gave it. That's right, awesome hooker. Good cases. So lesson learned. The ironic thing is, Marshall jinxed it. We were just rolled into Detroit. And he commented, hey, you know, you don't have a good case on your phone. I'm like, hey, man, look, I've gone 14 months with this thing. I've made over 1,000 videos. You know, mind your own business. And the next morning, this thing slides off of the trash can. it's busted. See, I told you so, Rosie. See? Oh, shit. It is amazing, Nicole, when I think that I only had to open my computer one time on that whole trip, the laptop. What a blessing that was to just be able to do everything with the phone. I remember when I first knew Nicole back in 2013 when she was a wee pup, and she was doing all of her editing in phone already, and I was astounded that she was doing that on a daily basis. Yeah, when I was a kid, the screen was like the size of your big toe. I mean, I still have my flip phone, right? My Samsung flip phone from, I don't know, 2000 and 2008 or 9, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, so Marshall jinxed it, right? But he did have the joy of standing there and watching me pick the phone up and seeing that the multiple cracks on the screen and everything. So there we go. Okay, the travel plan. So I did have to talk to DeeDubs. We're trying to coordinate things for San Diego to go down to there. But the first, we're pretty much carved in stone now for Las Vegas, the 18th, and leaving on the 25th of August. Anybody has any ideas, please send me a Gmail. I can make it like new at gmail.com. Be glad to look that over for content. We are going to focus a lot more on the strip this time. It'll entail, as I say, taking the deuce down, which is the bus. I think it's $6 each way. It's kind of maybe it's a round trip. I don't know, but it ain't that cheap, right? I mean, you guys remember my, thank you, Nicole. You guys remember, you know, when I was on the Chicago Elevated from way up north, probably a 30-mile ride for $3, which I thought that was a bargain of the century. My car was shipped from San Diego, 1,800 miles, arriving today. Yeah, I got all my phones. Yeah, Mark Handler, we got it. In Vegas, night on the town, baby. There you go, Righteous Brothers. You've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. You never felt so good. Do, 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 upon your lips, and there's no tenderness. Like love the Righteous Brothers. Kind of grew up with them. One of my favorite groups. So if anybody has any suggestions for Vegas Forward, I'm on. Can't guarantee I'm going back to the green door again. Might be the Red Rooster this time. I can't guarantee you. I can't guarantee you. Yeah, thank you, Nicole. The other thing that I'm bound and determined to have on the channel, because we had a lot of fun with it, was, and it's brutal, I haven't cracked through yet, the Streamlabs mobile application, which is a bitch to use. It's unstable as hell. It sucks up so many resources in your cell phone. It's crazy. But when that mobile streaming works good and people can send out text-to-speech messages with a tip, it makes it a lot more fun. Okay, it's a more interactive and it's a fun experience. So I'm still working on that. Over the next week or so, you'll see some live tests occur on some streams that'll be deleted within minutes because we're just testing things out. Let's see. Julie said, my husband swears that is what got you demonetized. It was a green door, and you did say, no, it's the cover art. You know, we had on there for years, Missy Jenn and I with our racks hanging out and thumbnail and all. Didn't take the review. You know, wouldn't take the review team long to say, okay. So there was an easy matter, but I have a much nicer collage on the front page, which you can see on your computer. Will have that full screen on that. Yeah, Nicole, I was editing the Streamlabs setting last night. It's so unstable. And hey, man, bro, hey, Dawn, it is so unstable. The thing, I don't understand. Their customer service is non-existent. All they do is refer you to videos, so you never, or to Reddit, and you never really get your question answered. I'm great, Dawn. Thank you. It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah, Mr. X is a nice guy. I spent a lot of good quality time with him in Chicago. He's a nice guy. He really is. How you doing, Mallory? Nice to see you. Nicole says, tweet them. They help me with an issue. Wow, okay. Yeah, it seems like the best way to get a response on anything these days is to tweet stuff. You know, I don't know. You know, because I had the text-to-speech, and then Streamlabs is one of those terrible companies. It's like Adobe Flash. Every other week, or like CCleaner, every other week they want to say a new version is available and a new version, and they're always stuffing new shit into your Streamlabs, and you know, it became unstable on an update. So, okay, their support teams are okay. Well, good. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. That is that's a good tip. That's a great tip. So when it's working, it's brilliant. When it's working, it's brilliant because I just clip on the external speaker too, and it Bluetooth, and it works great. Yeah, Streamlabs is kind of shit. I kind of agree, Mallory. But you know, when you update too often, and you know, another Streamlab updates, and as much as I curse Microsoft and Windows 10, you don't hear a lot of people bitching about it because they've kept this operating system for a few years now. And they don't do updates that often, and they're usually pretty bulletproof when they do it. So, hey, Jeffrey, how are you? Okay, I had trouble with my payment account. They told me to fix within an hour. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, you're smarter than I am. I'm not sure about Zoom. As far as I know, Miss Coeli, the Streamlabs is the only one with the text to speech that is somewhat reliable. Somewhat reliable. So I want to get that working. So you'll see some videos over the next week, and you'll wonder what's going on. And we're just doing some testing here, and they'll just be deleted right away to do that. Like I said, for those of you who joined, we're all set. I'm going to be meeting Dee in Las Vegas. It's going to be the 18th through the 25th of August. Reunited after 2.5 months at that time, and we'll have yeah, the Streamlabs is buggy. You know why, Kit and Kat? Because they try to do too many things. They have a lot of things that you can incorporate. The one person that uses Streamlabs really well is, of course, Paul Danino on the Ice Poseidon channel, because he has things like a Apple Watch that feeds in. You can see his heart rate when shit goes crazy and he starts to get scared. His heart rate, boom, boom, boom. He has interactive maps in the corner so that you can see where they're driving. It's all kinds of fascinating shit. Yeah, look for an open source, but I haven't found one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Mallory. Chilling with the, but I have not found one. Kit and Kat that incorporates the text to speech on a mobile. It's one thing to have a desktop, and 75% of my life is going to be on the road. So most things are going to be in a mobile app on the phone, and that's where that's kind of where the instability happens. Yeah, man. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, man. Love the thumbnail. Yeah, thank you. I got new cover art, new channel art for the channel too. I was up working that on Adobe. Yeah, Rosa and DeeDubs together again, and yeah, man, a lot of fun up there in Michigan with yeah, man. Looking around, chunking around Dearborn, Michigan, checking out the franchise. You know, Bobby was over Tuesday night, yeah, man, and you know what he was talking about? He thought the funniest thing about the video was you telling us that if you had a Ford, you could park in the yellow areas close to the building, but if you had a non-Ford car assembly plant, you had to park back in the blue area. I thought that was pretty darn funny. So I got to get caught up on Yeah Man's. He's got a really nice Class C RV, and he's doing a first-class job restoring that. Take care, Jen. Thank you, sweetie. How you doing, Nathan? Okay, you take care, Jen. Thanks for coming by, honey. I appreciate it. What else we got? So this is Streamlabs Shenanigans. For me, I've had some people have messaged me. I might as well address it about the stuff going on. And boy, I am happy that I'm focusing on being a content creator now. And I don't really, there's nothing I feel like I can address on here. There's people that I communicate with in person on. And I always hope things always seem to get smoothed out again eventually anyway. People patch up their differences and move forward. And that's really the beauty of YouTube. Has been proven over since 2015 is that today's red team is tomorrow's blue team, and tomorrow's blues team is, you know, the next day. You know, it all comes together. Yeah, we got your gift here for the warrant. I got to straighten out everything up on here was given by subscribers over here on the mantle. So I've got to get that all. I might put up little side shelving on that. Yeah, everything will balance out. Awesome, Hooker. Time has proven that for years. So I don't feel like there's anything that I need to address on there. But you know, I give a little bit of support private and things. So just a little buck up to people. And, you know, because I like a lot of the people that are involved in it. So I think it'll come to yeah, it's the rock in the river advice. That's exactly it, Mallory. You sit yourself like a rock in the river, and the dam, the water might flow and rise behind the rock, but eventually it just moves around the rock and rolls on. So I don't collect vintage license plates, Andrea. You saw the video on Rosie Murphy today of Alpine Gulch, Alpine Girl. What a lovely gal. And she's the one that gave us the license plates from Wyoming. I'm not really, I've never been a collector of license plates. In fact, I had Hawaii, Maryland, and California that I had here, and I ended up shipping them to DW Red, the former trucker from Ice Road Truckers and Dangerous Roads, and he was putting them in to use as a ceiling. He was collecting license plates from all over America to use as a ceiling in his vans. Here. There we go. Missy Jenn said she wants all states. Yeah, Alpine was so cute. That's the greatest thing about traveling, and especially keeping it real time, is because people reach out to you on the road and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna come through." And I remember how agonizing that final drive from Nebraska, after having driven from Milwaukee to North Platte, Nebraska. That was like 900 miles or something like that. And the next day you think to yourself, oh, it's only 300 miles to Cheyenne, which it is. But you guys remember, I almost had a meltdown. I did have kind of a mini meltdown. And I just ended up turning off the stream because I thought I was just going to have a psychotic break going across the high plains there. And when she sent me a message, I guess you're not going to come to Cheyenne. I said, honey, I'm stopping. I'm going to see you. If you've reached out to me, I'm going to see you and meet you. And of course, then we met Spanky Ham. But, Alpine Gulch, wonderful gal, very engaging. When my van key was lost and the tow truck driver's like, don't tow it to a 24-hour Walmart. They'll tow it right. I'll be called by them to tow you right out again. And since they're paying me, I'm going to put the hook on it and I'm going to tow it out. I like you, but. And she's like, you know what? Just drop that over, and we're gone into her development at 1 a.m. in the morning and dropping the out of state van right in her front, right in front of her house there. Yeah, I made it. Yeah, she was a lovely hostess. You got to think it's funny that Elbow whines so much. It's kitten cat. I could never live my life on the edge. I would, number one, if I wasn't productive, I would feel guilty. Okay. I'd see my mother looking down from heaven or whatever. And if, it's like, you make sure you work all those years. Okay. No sitting on your ass, anything like that. Keep on trucking. So I would feel, if I told my dad, who's turning 90, if I said, I'm not, all those years, I said, I'm just going to get a van and just see the country. He would have probably thrown me out the window of the retirement community over the balcony. Get the hell out of here. I don't even know you. Are you kidding me? That's number one. I would feel tremendous guilt not being productive. Okay. I could not stand myself if I wasn't working. And then, number two, having that work gave me the ability to have, at least for now, a small monthly pension, which is nice, and it allowed me to get on the road. I don't have to worry about dental work. If the dental work comes up, I've got Delta Dental. I've paid into it for many years, and I took care of my teeth for years, even though I got the hillbilly gap. Otherwise, I got pretty nice teeth, and they're all mine. Take care, Jacques. Yeah, I was raised differently. It's a different generation. See, the internet exposes you to good and to bad, right? This is the first two generations really that grew up on the internet, and we were late adopters, most of us in here. So we weren't as deeply affected. You know, ours was more the television generation. People in, you know, my dad's day was more the radio generation and all that. And my great grandfather was newspapers and even up to the 1940s. But today, it's all about the internet, and people are influenced, and that puts ideas into your head. You click on travel channels and you look at, we didn't have this exposure to stuff. We had ABC, NBC, and CBS, and that was it. Then UHF came along. Now you get on YouTube and you can watch people sailing with families and young kids, and you can watch beautiful couples sailing on boats, sailing Zatara, and whatever the hell the you know, that Australian couple that goes out there. I can't think of what. You see people out living the van life, people like Bob Wells out in the desert, you know, living the life, but they're still working. What you're not seeing is these people are working, they're putting the time and effort in. But this puts ideas, hey Glinda, this puts ideas into people's heads. Like, if they can do that, I can do that too. But then they run into the situation where YouTube doesn't pay enough to support that. So unless you have the resources to dig into your own pocket and sustain that life, you're just on a train wreck highway is what you're on. And let's face it. Yeah, my dad came home, read the newspaper. You know, we had the Baltimore Sun in the morning, and then we had the News American in the afternoon, and they were delivered to the home. Yep, getting our news. That's right, Colleen. And that's the way it is. January 3rd, 1973. In Vietnam today, events took a tragic turn. Yeah, I can still hear Walter Cronkite on there. Yeah, newspaper got you in trouble back in the day at work. That's right. Yeah, man. And today it can be the cell phone. Yeah. Okay. Take care, Andrea. Nice to see you, sweetheart. Okay. Take care, Nicole. Have a good one. And the TV went off at 12. That's exactly right. Do. And they had that Native American with the headband as the test pattern. Ooh. And we just sit there and look at it and just drink beer. Did that thing move? Or is that guy's eyes following me? You know? Yeah, Vietnam War on TV at dinner. Yeah, the click, click, click of the UHF and VHF and those goofy antennas and trying to get the rabbit ears, and my old man just throwing a set through the window. He was so pissed off. He wanted to see the Baltimore Colts. I think it was the 1968 Super Bowl III with Joe Namath, Broadway Joe Namath and the Baltimore Colts. And the signal kept screwing up, and he finally just picked up the rabbit ears and just threw them through the window. threw them through the window, and now we got 22-degree air coming in. And nobody said a word. Nobody said a damn word. It's all that window there. And, you know, unfortunately the Colts lost, but you got to remember Johnny Unitas was injured. If Johnny Unitas had started that game against the New York Jets, they would have been blown into smithereens, but he was injured. But they brought him in like the last 5 minutes, and he immediately threw for a touchdown pass. He always had bad ribs. That picture over the fireplace is a 1930s Mexican travel poster that I've had here for years. I have one more over here, the Three Gorges Dam. Don't come out, Jen. Jen walks around naked. Three Gorges Dam. And I have another travel poster over on the other side. I like the 1930s travel posters. I think the color doesn't really show up, but she's very beautiful and very colorful. And that was the pre-drug days before you had to worry about being shot up by a cartel. gone down to Mexico, but they were also very exploitive days too. There was a lot of exploitation that occurred, and certainly Colleen Aloha can speak to matters of exploitation, Native Hawaiian style. Black and white, that's all we had, black and white. I'll tell you what, Carolyn, I'm going to tell you what. In 1966, remember the Orioles just won their first world championship, right? They beat the Dodgers in 4 straight, 1966 World Series. Handsome Jim Palmer became the youngest guy ever to throw a shutout in a World Series at age 20, okay? He beat Sandy Koufax, right? Anyway, little known fact. That Christmas, my dad had 2 sisters, and my grandmother, his mother, gave each of the kids a color TV set. It was a 1966 RCA Victor color TV. Put that thing in, man. That NBC Peacock came on. The following program is brought to you in living color in NBC. And I remember we're sitting in our seats, and one of us fell out this way and one the other way. The neighbors were coming over with their faces pressed on them. Coming over with their faces pressed on the window. Hey, life of boy, how you doing? Oh, man. Oh, I don't know, McFly. You get core haters that don't have a life, that their lives are entwined with bitterness and negativism on a daily basis. I'd fall out of my seat if I ever heard positivity come out of some of these streams. But they do theirs and I do mine. Yeah, I saw the protest. Hey, beautiful Koana, how are you? Yeah, the NBC Peacock and Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Disney and the Wide World of Sports would come on Saturday, and I'd just be licking the screen, watching that guy come down the ski jump, all fucking hitting. The thrill of victory. Hey, Kathy, how you doing, sweetie? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Now, the craziest thing I got to tell you guys, and I swear this happened, and I will swear to my dying day, the weirdest thing I ever saw on TV was on the Wide World of Sports. And this shows you how crazy shit was before lawyers took over the world. They had a boxing ring, and in one corner of the ring, they had a guy sitting on a stool. And in the other corner of the ring, they had a guy with a gun. And there was a plexiglass screen in front of the guy that was sitting in the seat. And the trick was, this guy was going to catch a bullet with his teeth. And he did it on ABC, on the Wide World of Sports. I swear, it was the weirdest damn thing I ever saw. Lassie was good. There were so many good shows. We weren't really allowed to watch TV on school nights, probably why I still have decent teeth and was able to get somewhere in life. But yeah, there you go. McFly says, first pro football game I watched was Johnny U and the Colts playing the St. Louis Cardinals. The Colts won. Yeah, I was very spoiled. You look what a wreck baseball is in Baltimore now with the Orioles. It's just, I was spoiled, man. They were competitive in from 65 right on through 1983 when they won their last World Series. I mean, I was spoiled. I was spoiled. Yeah, the rifleman, Jen, likes all that stuff. She likes all that. Yeah, we didn't have much TV. We got booted out of the house. Kitten Cat. You like the way Kitten Cat's needles done. Yeah, the ski jumper going down the ramp. Sit in his chair and listen to San Francisco Giants on radio. Exactly. And I grew up listening to the voice of Chuck Thompson announcing the Baltimore Orioles. Sponsored by National Beer. Yeah, Mr. Ed the Horse, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Sweet says, my dad once said to us, quit crying, you know, Lassie's okay. There will be a show on tomorrow just like this one. Yeah, hello everyone. Howard Cosell. Speaking of sports, it was a thriller in Manila last night. Frazier had Ali against the rope, but did the champ falter? Well, he held tough until the 13th round. Everybody agreed it was one of the most spectacular fights they'd ever seen. Howard Cosell, man. Cal Ripken at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, there he goes. You know what my mother had when the day that Cal Ripken, my mother was friends with, there was a sports agent. Ron Shapiro was the big sports agent in Baltimore. And he had a guy working for him that was the son of my mother's best friend. Basically, her son worked as a sports agent and had a lot of the Orioles, and he was able to get my mother a ticket to the night that Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's record for most consecutive games played straight at Memorial Stadium in maybe it was Camden Yards. I'm not sure where it was at that time. That was signed by Cal Ripken, and that ticket was never broken on the stub. You know, the whole complete ticket was still there. You talk about worth a fortune. Yeah, Mark Handler played Chuck Hunt. I thought he paid for the Colt 45s on there. I always thought Gilligan was really stranded when I was a little girl. That they were. I don't know. I'd be stranded with Mary Ann. That'd be all right. We're going to bake a coconut cream pie. The hell we are. I got bigger fish to fry than that with you. Down goes Frazier. He's down on the mat. Will he be able? Okay, Awesome Hooker. Thank you, honey. Will he be able to get off the mat? The crowd is mesmerized. They're stunned by what they've seen. They saw Frazier go down with a mighty right hook. Yeah, she was adorable. I made fresh mag. Yeah, Colleen, I have to see the video. It came up in my feed. I was right there, Kathy, watching the moon landing, July 20th, 1969. Standing right there in the kitchen, watching that little black and white TV on top of the refrigerator. How you doing, Queen Cash Taz? I remember 1968 hanging up Christmas lights with my old man when the first time that they, I think it was Apollo 8 went around the dark side of the moon for the first time. That was pretty cool. Yeah, Disneyland had ticket books. Yeah, it happened right there in Baltimore. It was supposed to happen that Sunday before. Yeah, I was at the game. Yeah, so it was a good thing. So she's got a hell of a collector's item there. Signed and autographed, that thing. With his teeth fixed with duct tape and baling wire. You know, Camperman Elbow, I'm going to tell you what, I've said it before. You got to really weigh stuff out. You got to look at things in economics. You got to calculate the gas you're going to burn on the route that you're going to travel, your expenses, your eating. And you got to weigh that off against the possibility when you get south of the border and out to Nandez. I don't care how many dentists you consult with, and there's some reputable dentists down there. You're not going to survive unless you're doing reputable work for these Americans, okay? They will Yelp you. They will review you. You get down there, you get in that dentist chair, and the likelihood is that the teeth cannot be saved. Maybe the latest one with a chip off, but, you know, for a $200 extraction in each tooth in Chicago, well, you could have maybe saved yourself a couple $1,000. So I know you're counting down to Christmas, Kiwana, and boy, talk about a channel that I so highly recommend, Kiwana's Kitchen. She is a gorgeous, beautiful woman, and the things that she does with food and cooking. I watched her make the chicken the other day that she does, and she just lunch, breakfast things. She's gonna go far on YouTube. I told her she should be on Food Network with the stuff that she does. So Yeah, to get to economics, you need to have some logic. Vanessa says, I was born in, so I do not know about the moon landing. I was just a newborn. Well, come on over and visit. We'll lay in bed and I'll tell you all about it, Vanessa. I'll tell you everything. I'll show you a different kind of landing. Here comes the lunar landing module. Can you imagine the balls that these astronauts had? Can you imagine the balls that they had to get, number one, they didn't explode on a launch pad going up on this huge Saturn V. And look at my video called 5 million horsepower on the Saturn V launch from the pad at the ground level, about 25 feet away from the rockets, okay, coming up. You want to see what 5 million horsepower looks like lifting off a Saturn rocket. I have it set to the War of 1812 overtures. It rises slowly off of the pad. It's very amazing. The ice is breaking off the side of it. It's incredible, incredible video, right? But the hell was I talking about? The fuck was I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, the balls you had to have. Now you got to get up there. Now you got to separate the lunar modules, got to come out with the regular capsule. Now you got to go propelling forward to the moon. Now you got to separate this thing that looks like a fucking spider. And you got to crawl into that thing and then hope that bastard doesn't land and flip over. I mean, it's still incredible to me when we were still doing things on punch cards, that the telemetries and the engineering that had to be worked out on that was just, it staggers the mind. And the balls to say, yeah, I'll take a shot on doing that is amazing. Yeah, the Apollo project. Yeah, they had huge big. You guys always like it when I get dirty. Oh, no, Vanessa's like, no thanks, Rosie, I don't think so. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah, it was almost like you're signing off to a suicide mission. And then I remember the fate of Apollo 13. Now we all hung on tenter hooks. If these guys were going to make it off, if this little lunar module was going to be able to get these guys back. I mean, you know, Apollo 13, that was brutal. But I remember when Grissom, Chaffee, and White burned up in that early Apollo, just sitting on the launch pad. The whole capsule caught fire. They all died. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Just got charred in their capsule. It was terrible, the cost of that program. Yeah, it's amazing. Isn't it, Brown Bear Jamboree, how life has changed over 200 years? I stand there looking at the Conestoga wagons and Cheyenne and just marvel that was 1867 and stuff was winning the West. And, you know, about 100 years later, I come along. And I'm riding in a 1956 Ford. Yay. No air conditioning, sweating their asses off, and happy as shit. 8 people stuffed into a station wagon. Yay. Let's take a road trip. Yeah, imagine knowing how the experimental, exactly, ham the champ. We lost all technology, we had lost all the technology to go back to the highly doubt. I don't know, Will, you know, a lot of good things spun out of the space program, much more, you know, dealing with heat and dealing with surviving and food and engine rocket technologies. It was a spin-off of the space program that was super productive for society. Yeah, Forrest Gump saved the day. And yeah, watching that real time, that was really weird. Yeah, technology advanced, Colleen. It's like nowadays gamers, I don't even know what the hell gamers are doing, you know? But I do worry about this. I do have this fear. We're in a society where we're actually changing our physiology. Missy Jenn said we're getting some kind of bone. What do they call that, Jen, in the back of your neck? When your head's down, a horn. Yeah. Like a bone spur. Like a bone spur, because everybody has their heads down all the time now. So it's genetically reshaping us. But I worry because so much of the world is in here to people. When you and I grew up, the world was out there, and we had to connect ideas ourselves, and we had to learn how to inductively reason and draw conclusions, even though we had imperfect information. Now it's like, you know, I worry about creativity for the future of Western civilization. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's no need to really think. I worry like crazy. Yeah, yeah, Kenko playing with themselves. Oh, thank you, Anthony Quinn. Yeah, I built that. I could never find the stand that I wanted. And Missy Jenn and I went out. I had threaded rods custom cut at the machine shop for the upper parts of it. And Missy Jenn and I, what do we take? 3 days to assemble. You can see the video of us designing and putting that together. I always tell Missy Jenn, you spun a lot of nuts on that, didn't you? All those nuts had to be, each one of the nuts had to be spun up and down the whole length to get the shelving on there. You know, people video their life instead of living. Hey, Ufta, nice to see you, beautiful. Wow, what a pleasant surprise. I've got Ufta in the chat today. How you doing, sweetie? So I worry a lot about creativity drying up. Well, I mean, when your world isn't here, our world was out there. I couldn't have told my mom, hey, I just want to sit around after school and watch TV and snacks. She just booted our ass out the door and said, see you at dinner time, and that was it. You learn how to socialize in real life. You learn how to get around, be mobile. You had to learn independence at a young age. You know, remember my mom, I went to the stadium once to see a baseball game, right? She sent us out. I was a junior Oriole. They gave you 10 tickets for like $2, right? You could go to 10 games, and you sat way out in the bleachers, way out there, you know, the worst seats, but it was like, I don't know, 50 cents a game or something like that. So I got off the bus stop at the stadium, and you know, a couple punk 18 years old come up and just punch me in the face and just take my ticket out. And I call home, hey man, I just got, you know, get to the phone at the stadium. I just got knocked out. I lost my way. You'll figure it out. Just see if you can hitch a ride. Hitch your ride back to the ghetto. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Oh, thank you, Deb. How are you? Sid's Angel Debbie. How are you doing, sweetie? I haven't seen you in a minute. Johnny Wad, how are you? Yeah, to not allow it to. Life wasn't boring, Kiwana. Let me tell you, growing up in Baltimore, it was exciting. We had riots. Joe Smith said it was a no. Joe Smith's a Baltimore gal too, Maryland gal. I was a no-no. My dad would come home from work and feel the top of the TV, see if we'd had it on, you know. I'd lay in bed listening to music. Turn off that radio, you know. I know you're listening in there. Actually, I enjoyed. I enjoyed. Listening to talk radio back then, crazy as that sounds. Invite Dee to live with you. I think Dee is, he's going to be a traveler like me. We're going to be meeting the 18th through the 25th of August in Las Vegas, reunited. And then we have to figure out, he's going to roll up to Yosemite and I think Portland, and then we'll probably reunite down in San Diego down there. So we will see. Brown Bear says, we've been traveling all over Washington State in our van. We take many trips camping. I love it. That's cool. Good for you. Yeah, my folks would just say, just figure it out, you know. My mom would say, you got 2 feet. Just started, you know, like black eye bulging, you know. That's it, Kiwana. It's like, I'm like you, Rosie. It's the simple things that keep me happy. Yeah, I'm over the moon about your channel, Kiwana. I really am. You're such a beautiful gal, and you do such high quality. And Colleen's on that same. She's on that same path with what she's doing. She's really hit the ground. she's made a hell of a mark. I'm a person that cheers other people's success on YouTube. I don't put it down. If I have a chance to boost up somebody, I do it. I think we all owe it to people to do a little something. Oh, you had a weekly table board game at night? I was just happy when he could start dating. I was happy when I got the keys to the car. Ding. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Guess what? I got the 28-year-old car here. He's like, shut up. You know, she's like, well, Johnny's got a 68 Camaro. I'm not going to ride around in your POS 1962 Chevy Impala Biscayne or whatever. Flags, chick up chicks. Yeah, you did pick up sticks. I had pick up chicks. But we did learn to socialize. You know, that's why if I go to a dance or something like that, it was nice to you just go up and ask somebody to dance. It's the only way. I mean, people don't know how to interact. Elvis Van will make it through Arizona. Yeah, there's Deb says, I'm happy every time I leave the house. Look, don't short sell that Windsor engine, that 5.8 liter engine. It's basically twice the size of the one that it's in Little Rascal here. It's about a 9,000 pound vehicle, 8,800 pounds those camper vans go, plus the gear that you have inside them, the generator, the rack, and all. So you're about 9,300 pounds. But you have one great advantage is that you have one of the best power plants that was ever put out by Ford, coupled with a great transmission. So if I had to bet money, would it make it? I would say yeah, especially if you're traveling at night. That thing's only, I don't know, 70,000 miles. And we got camper vans running around out here for 123 to 150,000 miles coachman's running around. So the keys to the car that I bought. You had to buy my own car, the 1951 Chrysler Crown Victoria. 2.5 tons, 5,000 pounds. Man, when I saw that Hemi, it was Chrysler's first real Hemi, you know, with the really deep socket porcelain or ceramic spark plug way down in the well. Ooh, it's like an orgasm at 15. I'm not saying, you know, I did. I'm just saying it was a very exciting moment. Yeah, you're getting about better figure about 10 miles to the gallon. You're pulling up some grade, so average it off about 8 miles an hour. You got to make sure your brakes are in tip-top condition. I burned up my front brakes are basically gone. I got to get them replaced. You got to make sure you have great brakes. Definitely. Girls like to hear vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah, 331. Yeah, I had a 1951 Chrysler Crown Imperial Victoria. Man, that thing was huge. It had the first tiptoe transmission. You would push the gas pedal down. Then when you let up, it would click into the next gear. Then you would press down the gas again. Well, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It's called the tiptoe transmission, the Chrysler fluid torque drive. It was the early days of the automatic. It made life very spicy. Then what did I have? A 1962 Chevy Biscayne. That was it. I painted it with a paintbrush. It was my girlfriend's. This girl I wanted to date. She's like, that thing's. Are you kidding me? You think I'm gonna ride in that thing? Seats are all blown out. Just took a paintbrush and painted it green and put some cheap J.C. Whitney seat covers on, and she's still like, I ain't gonna do that. Cobra John, how you doing? Crown Victoria. Well, it was a Chrysler. It was a 1951 Chrysler Imperial Crown Victoria. I don't know what the hell it was. Chrysler. I can't remember. I was 15 years old. What fan do you suggest while boondocking? Everybody's talking about the Max Air fan, Ms. Coeli, so I have to install one of them. I'm not going to try to boondock in Vegas. I've already got a cheap hotel lined up. 52 Chrysler Saratoga. This was kind of the same deal. This was a 51 Chrysler Crown Victoria. I mean, it was a hell of a car. Yeah, paintbrush, Vicky. A paintbrush. A little bit of sandpaper and a really nice forest green. Looking sharp. Had that little 6-cylinder. That little straight 6. Woo! Then I had a 1970, 71 Cutlass, Olds Cutlass Supreme. God, the best car I ever owned. That had the 350 Olds Rocket in it. Oh, God, that car was sweet. That thing was so smooth. Cornholio had 69 Roadrunner, got 7 miles per gallon, but that was fun. That's cool. That's cool. That's not so bad, yeah, man. I stop, I get about a 12-gallon tank. I go about 360 miles on that. That's why Elvis was complaining on our way from, I don't know where we were driving, from Toronto to Buffalo, or maybe it was Chicago to Detroit, and he had to fill up on the way. GTO Judge, that was good. 440. Yeah, Cornholio, I had the Olds 440 in my first RV, the 1974 GMC. I had the 440, the big block Olds. Man, that thing was a monster. You can look at the videos in my playlist in the RV. Yeah, went by the J.C. Whitney 59 Chrysler hearse. Yeah, I remember 23 cents a gallon, something like that, you know. Yeah, I had a lot of cool cars. My grandfather died. I bought from the estate his 68 Mustang, which was pretty cool. That was nice. It was a metallic blue, and it had the white striping in the door. It was really nice looking. 501. Wow, Johnny Watt. Hey, Uber Goober lady, how you doing, beautiful? Johnny Watt, you must have been the cat's meow. I'd still like to get a 1973 Eldorado. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, the cars are just, I don't know, you know. Man, you guys ever went to the Henry Ford Museum, and you just stand there and you look at the styling of the 1920s and 30s, and it's just like, wow, you're just blown away by the beauty of the Packards and the Cadillacs and the DeSoto Francesa, all these great legendary cars. It was a triumph of beauty over function. 69 Chevy C10 short. I remember that vehicle, Colleen. Yeah, that 454. Yeah, I think the Olds was the 450. I don't know. It was a few years ago. 454, 455 cubic inch, something like that. Yeah, lots of room to drive in. That's it. Sweet Ricky, how you doing, honey? Nice to see you. I hope you and Shay are doing well. My regards to Shay. Yeah, I remember we had leaded gasoline. I sure do. Drove a Model T. I sure remember that. Anyway, if you've had a good time on the chat, please take a minute to hit the thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and roll off. Missy Jenn's giving me the eye here that projects await. She's giving me that. She likes to give me that. Studebaker, DeSoto, Kaiser, all of that. Anyway, thank you for hitting the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate you being along. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thanks for a very great hangout. And I will see you guys around. The last of the trip videos come up with Alpine Lady. I hope you watch them. And then it's on to other projects. Dagan, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, man. Nice to see you. Kenko. Awesome to see you, Kenko Trooper. Thanks for coming by. Deb. Sid's Angel, Deb. My sweetheart, Deb. What a joy to see you, honey. Gold and silver taking off. There you go, Alan Gold. Y'all take care, everybody.